Right, okay. Right, she's ready to come in. Okay, brilliant. Has she got a classic red lipstick on? Brilliant. Okay, right. Welcome in, Katherine Ryan! Woo! Oh,
hello.
Katherine.
Hi, Max.
How are you?
I mean, I'm elated to be here.
Oh.
It's just the way it looks on my phone.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm glad you like The Office. A lot of people don't believe that we are actually in a real office building, and there's several hundred employees that work in the background. Shut up over there. She gets sassy sometimes.
Yeah, she's a good kisser, though.
Oh, yeah, she is. How are you doing?
I'm so well.
Oh.
I feel very honored to know you through my daughter. It's like backwards nepotism.
It is.
Yeah, I really love it. Because I want to be down with the kids. I hope to gain some younger followers. Maybe some of them might have access to stem cells that I could harvest.
Brilliant. Oh my gosh, we're all about that. We really are all about like human forestation.
But you're not using retinols or anything yet.
No.
Fine.
So, I mean, I want to get all into that when we get your daughter on. So for everybody at home watching, Violet is also in the building with us. She's going to be joining a little bit later on. And we're going to be diving into everything that I hope will keep me relevant. And we're all just clasping for youth here, really, aren't we? Yeah. It's
very medieval.
It is. It really is. Well, I just want to give you a little intro because I asked my assistant to just send me like the headlines of things that you've done, you know, as well as add into my own knowledge.
Yep.
And you're crazy.
Yes.
Like this resume is mental.
Well,
and
I've been alive a long time.
I mean, most people who are alive for, you know, as long as you have been or even more are still not able to say that they have 3 shows on Netflix. You've worked on countless British TV and radio panel shows. You have a huge podcast that gets massive clips online. Hilarious, by the way. You're currently on tour and you're about to be a judge on Canada's Got Talent, whilst you are also sharing your life in your reality TV show At Home with Katherine Ryan. Yeah. All I've got to ask you is, do you need any more attention or like what's happening?
Yeah, I love attention. And I've also got 3 kids.
Oh,
I keep making people.
Oh my God,
so
you're just
they
trying
love
to.
Me.
Yeah, that's crazy, Katherine. Do you not like look at stuff like that and think this is crazy?
No, because did you ever have a real job?
Yes, I did. I
What was
worked
it
in
again?
a chip shop.
Oh, you did.
For a few years, and then I worked in an office very similar to this actually as an intern whilst I was at university, and then social media started.
Fine.
Yeah.
Well, all right, but you've been around in social media for most of your working life.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm 26.
Yeah.
And I started COVID, so yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
So I think I saw what a real life would look like. Those people work very hard.
Very hard.
They have to go to work every day.
That is very true, actually.
I worked in an office. I also very infamously worked at Hooters in Toronto and in Nottingham, not bragging.
Oh.
And that was way back in the 60s, the wild swinging 60s. And then I started to do this wonderful job where I just get to be a clown. And then people will shame you a little bit. Other comedians will be like, do you have to be on everything? And my answer is just most people work every day. Like a nurse goes to work every day. So I just keep going to work every day.
And I'm really likable and people want to book me.
I'm likable or not.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I
think
that.
you're likable.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I'm also like kind of forced to say that right now. Do you know what I mean?
You're not. I would, if you had any notes, I would take them. But you're also not the kind of guy who's got like a football club in his profile picture.
Very true.
Those people hate me.
Oh, do they? Because they also probably hate me as well. So I feel like we're in good company here.
They hate what we're about.
That's it. Well, I want to know, when did comedy start for you? Did you just always know that you were funny?
Usefully, I wasn't a beautiful child, and I'm from a town where the women, I mean, everyone in my town, it's a very shallow genetic pool. It's a real backwards Canadian provincial town, and we're not that dissimilar, really. I'm from a place where a lot of people don't leave that place.
Right, okay, me too.
Yeah. And The girls, though, are beautiful there, and there are a lot of athletes there, and I was like a musical theater kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I
see that for you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what musical was it that got you into that?
I mean, early days, West Side Story, The King and I, Anne of Green Gables, which is very Canadian. You might not know it.
I don't know
You would love Anne of Green
Would
Gables.
I?
You would love Anne of Green Gables.
Anne of Green Gables.
Yes.
Okay, make notes. Make notes, people.
You would love her. She's
Big time.
fair like you, borderline ginger.
Oh yeah, I mean the facial hair. It's definitely giving Ronald Weasley right now. Yeah.
She's a feisty orphan.
Oh.
She's great. Great music in it. The King and I, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh,
the list goes on.
Yeah.
It's all I was interested in.
So that got you into the idea of performing, and you were naturally funny, like with your friends, with your family.
With my friends and my family. Yeah. And I had to develop a personality. I was never going to be the lead. I was like Ursula Merkel in Bye Bye Birdie. I was like the weird best friend.
Yeah.
I loved weird best friend. And I've carried that personality forward.
I feel like that's me on this podcast. George is the lead, like the handsome, attractive, like straight male. And I'm just the weird best friend.
That's it.
And I'm okay with that.
Weird best friend is the role that you want.
It's who I am.
The lead is boring.
Oh, so he's so boring. Oh my God, he's not even here. What a bore. Yawn.
We didn't even notice. I didn't even notice his absence.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you.
Oh my God, and we had to spray his chair so much because it stank. Like, I would never stink. No.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, comedy then.
Yeah.
When did it become a job for you? Because you moved to the UK when you were how old?
23.
23. And was that for comedy or was that for...
That was for a relationship that turned out to be the wrong relationship. But it's a sad story because he wanted to pursue comedy. I know. And I was dabbling, but I was expected to have the job. I worked in a sales office in Holborn. I was not meant to be the one who kind of made it. And like, accidentally I did. And I do feel badly about that.
Why?
Well, because it's not nice to
steal someone's dream and leave them in the dust. And now they're probably lonely and just really upset. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But, you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
There you go.
I don't even like comedy. I want to be a doctor. Yeah.
So
I've got to do this out of spite.
So you're doing sales day to day. You've moved to London for this relationship. Did you do a one-off gig? Did you see him doing a gig and then like he was floundering on stage and you got up and you were like, really sorry about him, by the way, guys. And what about that airline food? Like, how did that work?
Well, we met in a comedy club in Canada. So I had been dabbling in stand-up, but I was very alternative in Canada. I had a little like queer group of friends and they were alternative and I really was not the flannel shirt, I hate my wife, beer chugging kind of Canadian comedian at the time.
Yeah.
So I fell into that alternative group, again, just a hobby. And that's where I met this boyfriend because he was a comedian. Then when I came over here again, I would just do some open mics, but it accelerated for me really quickly. And when my daughter Violet was born, that was a transformative moment for me. I was a teen mom of 25 years old. And I decided like, if we're going to have a nice life, I have to make it happen for us. And if I really try at this comedy thing, then I can work at night when she's asleep and stay home with her in the day.
Oh, so it's purely out of convenience.
It's like a daycare system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I worked in the sales office,
of course,
I'd have to leave a newborn baby in daycare. I just couldn't do that.
No, that's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
So she would come on tour with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got lucky because I was different. And it's funny, growing up, and I think a lot of young people, they just want to be invisible. They want to blend in. They want to do what everyone else is doing. It's very dangerous and vulnerable to stand out in any way, even if it's just for being like beautiful. People are targeted.
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
Sometimes when, people are talking about being bullied or something in school, you look at the person and they're really great at school. They are athletic or, they're really beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're obviously being targeted for those reasons. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Any difference is a reason to be targeted in school. And then it flips and all of a sudden the different ones are unique.
Successful.
Special, successful. Yeah. So being different in this country, sounding funny, having a weird voice. And I had pop culture references that they weren't used to here. Like they didn't even know about the Kardashians. I tried to do a Kardashians musical at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2009.
Up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Were you in it?
I didn't get to produce it because my agent was like, what? Nobody knows that family.
Oh my God.
And I wish I'd had more.
Wait, 2009. So the show, the Kardashians, I feel, started in like 2007, 2006-ish, around that time.
You're bang on with your Kardashians trivia.
So what was the plan for the Kardashians musical? Were you going to be in it?
Yes.
And which character were you planning to play?
All of them. The idea was choppy.
Shaky.
But basically, I was so drawn to this family, and I was
Of
like,
course.
this is big, and I wanted to tell people about them.
Yeah.
And about how Kim Kardashian used to clean Paris Hilton's closet
Mm-hmm.
and then was motivated by the stolen video and then like had this mobility to become Kim Kardashian. I knew it would be something, and I wanted to explain it to British audience. And I also thought, because when you do the Edinburgh Fringe Festival as a comedian, you're meant to do stand-up for an hour. At that time, I really only had 15 minutes. I was like, no one's ever going to watch me for an hour.
So I'll sing.
But if I sing, and they really are going to watch me for 5 minutes. Yeah, and my agent shut it down, so I just did a normal stand-up. Well, I did sing.
Are you still with that agent?
Well, I was for like 15 years.
Wow.
And I recently left.
Okay. All right. I was going to make a joke being like, yeah, screw them. But I feel like that's a bit too personal to make that joke. 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weird split. You've had different agents.
Oh, I've had multiple, and it's always a weird split.
It is. It's such a intimate relationship. And we didn't split on bad terms. It just
I so get what you mean. I feel like this industry is the only one where they can really use your dreams and like weaponize them against you in a weird way. Yeah. And when you are your career, you equivalent so much of your self-worth to your career. So you get this intense bond with whoever is helping you manage that, and it can feel really delicate removing yourself from it. So we'll just leave that there. But I hope that they're doing well, and they should not have declined the Kardashian musical, in my personal
You know what?
opinion.
That's what it was. And I'm a slow burner.
Took 15 years to make that decision. That's so fair. I need somewhat, whether it's even just like a little like taste of it on your podcast, a clip on social media of what that musical would have been like. I need that in my life. I'm just putting that out there.
It's not too late to pick it back up.
Absolutely, it's not. They did one on RuPaul's Drag Race, the US version, and that was a hit. Kris Jenner herself actually wrote them a message to say how amazing it was.
So I've missed the boat.
Oh no, it's never too late.
But let it be a lesson. If you have a dream in your heart, a flicker of genius in your eyes, you got to do it, or else
100%.
RuPaul will get there.
Oh my God. I feel like that's a lesson that everyone can relate to out there. Yeah. 100%. Talking about dreams, ambitions, and drag, you used to work at Hooters.
I did.
As you said. What was that like in Canada, and how did it differ bringing it to the UK?
So Hooters is a sports bar that was created in Florida in 1983 by 5 businessmen, one of whom had a secretary in the 80s who used to run on her lunch hour in a white vest and orange shorts and big white trainers. And they thought that that was a sexy look because she was innocent, like a cheerleader. It's not meant to be anything vulgar. And I feel like in this country, it's very much taken that way. Every time they try to open a Hooters, it's like picketed and mom's net gets upset. And the feminists don't like it. And I'm a feminist, but, you know, I believe in a woman's right to serve chicken and beer and
100%.
hula hoop on her break if she wants to. Yeah. And also, I was 19 years old. It was a different time. But kids eat free on weekends. Like, I loved working at Hooters. I was going to a job in my new city, Toronto, during university. And I got lost because this was pre-smartphones. And I started to cry because I was wearing all black and it was quite sunny. And I was scared. I was from a small town and I was like, I don't know where my restaurant is, where I'm supposed to work. It was called Originals. And I couldn't find it. But then I saw Hooters, like this orange beacon.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, if I worked at Hooters, I'd already be at work by now and I wouldn't be lost, which is such a Hooters origin story. So I just walked in and I was like, I'm trying to go to my job, but I'm lost. Can I work here? And they're like, yep.
I love the idea of you like running for like 10 kilometers and then just coming across it and being like, well, theoretically, I would be at work by now if I worked here. I mean, that's a general rule at life. Anybody, if you get lost outside like the Apple store, just go to a rich neighborhood and just knock around the houses and be like, listen, I'm lost, but I could live here. So can I?
I'm here for work.
Yeah.
What?
So it came to the UK.
Yeah.
And it was not successful. You were part of that, that you were a pioneer of the Hooters legacy, bringing it to the UK.
Yeah.
And why do you think it doesn't work in the UK?
I think North Americans understand that to be a Hooters girl, I mean, you are objectified, but it's more like a cheerleader. We have a more cheerleader culture, whereas in this country, it seems to be taken very literally with the boobs. A lot of people think it's a strip club, a topless bar, and if it was, fine. You know, we're very positive about sex work now.
Yeah.
But I mean, they tried to open one in Birmingham, and there was all this furor in the 90s because they said that the waitresses had served a 12-year-old boy a breast cake, which was not possible. We have no facilities to make cakes at Hooters. So what would have happened is his parents brought in the cake. Yeah. His parents organized his birthday party at Hooters. He's from the Midlands, and he's got all these kids from school. He's a legend. And then his dad probably brings out this cake, and the Hooters girls don't know what's going on, and then they get shut down.
Oh, I mean, moral of the story, never listen to anyone from Birmingham. Really. Like, they're always going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean... Sorry to harp on about Hooters. I'm sure that you didn't expect
this.
It's
my favorite subject.
But I saw you speak about it on your podcast. Like, that sort of job, like that legacy of something like Hooters, does it have a place in 2025, is what you said. And you do speak very openly about, you know, sex positivity and the fact that you are a very strong feminist. Where do you think the argument is in terms of that? Like... I find it so interesting as, obviously, like you said, we're from the UK. I've been to America multiple times, and I've literally been to a Hooters, and I did not feel like it was this perverted, weird experience. It was very much joyous and fun. Yeah. So why do you think that the UK is different in that regard?
Must have something to do with the royal family.
Oh, defo.
I think it's satirical, Hooters, actually. It's like, oh, the girls are flattery operated. Ha, ha, ha. Like, I think it's taking objectification and almost making a joke out of it. I don't know. Like, I never have the perfect answer for this because in 2025, I mean, people are sex positive about Bonnie Blue taking on a new record of like 156,000 men or whatever she was able to achieve.
Where is the line?
Yeah.
Where do we go from, like me personally, I'm 26. I grew up listening to a lot of like, you know, like queer media, different podcasts and things like that where sex work and things of that nature are spoken about in a very normal and understanding way. Where it's, you know, it's not seen as this big, dark, disgusting thing. It's more sex positivity. And then we have a girl like Bonnie Blue who is, you know, taking out 1,500 people at once. I don't know why I did
You got
that.
actual audio from the night, yeah.
That was upsetting. Sorry to our audio listeners. She was not in the room with us. But yeah, where do we find the lie? I don't know. And I find it interesting as someone... you know, you mentioned to me, Older, that you are technically an elder millennial, and you're a woman with 3 children, and I feel like you have a very interesting perspective on it. But where do you think, like, the line is as to where do you observe that society sees the line is?
I'm like you, that my influences, I think, are more progressive than most people's influences. And I can accept that sex work is work. But I think there are still some organizations who would say that violence against girls and women has reached epidemic levels. And the more you objectify women, the less like people they seem. And the more, but I feel like that sounds just like, well, she was wearing a short skirt. I don't really buy that argument.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I feel like if any person of any gender is acting from a place of authenticity and ownership, and they aren't vulnerable, they aren't making a decision based on like a fight or flight response or a place of necessity, then like they should just do what they want. Some people, myself included, really want to put on orange shorts and caddy a golf tournament and participate in a bikini pageant and work at Hooters. Absolutely. Was I objectified by the brand? Absolutely. That's the game. But I found massive empowerment there, like-minded women. It meant that I worked with loads of women. No one ever tried anything with me there. You go to any club or bar, there are shooter girls like wearing short skirts, whatever. I mean, so I don't think someone's state of dress 100%. Is relevant to an argument about feminism. But I mean, look, I'm happy to be challenged on that.
No, I love it. And I love how outspoken you are on these issues. I feel like there's a lot of people, especially in the industry that you're in, you know, you're very much mainstream over here in the UK. I mean, I've grown up watching you on television.
Oh, that's hurtful.
No, I always change the channel, don't be silly. And yeah, a lot of people would shy away from that. So I really, really commend you on that. So
well, thanks, Matt.
slay, as us Gen Zers say, slay, Catherine.
Slay all day.
Slay. Speaking of, when did the TV jobs in the UK start?
May 21st, 2011.
Wow, I thought that you were going to make a joke there, but you actually have it memorized. What job was that?
8 out of 10 cats.
Love. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Violet was nearly 3 years old, and I remember every opportunity at that age just felt like a lifeline. I really needed to get my career going, and I did a office rehearsal with Jimmy Carr and with some other comedians who were auditioning, for lack of a better term, to be on the show. And at that time, everybody would stay in on an evening and watch 8 out of 10 Cats and watch Mock the Week. And it's kind of changed now. I don't know if the young people who listen to you will understand the culture that well.
It's crazy.
But it was career making. And if people saw you on TV and if they saw you doing well on TV, then you could tour. They'd come buy tickets to see you on tour. It was transformative. And it went so well for some reason that after that, the phone never stopped ringing. And I ascended very quickly after that.
It's fascinating because I specifically remember being in my bed at home. I had this little TV and I was watching 8 out of 10 Cats. You were on it. And obviously me being I probably didn't know who any of the people were on the panel. I just thought it's this funny TV show that I watched late at night. And I was just drawn to you for whatever reason. I think you challenged your male counterparts very strongly and efficiently, and I feel like, let me know what you think about this, but I remember sometimes feeling like certain guests on the show or like some of the male comedians would almost start the episode kind of turning their nose up at you a little bit or maybe underestimating you, and then finish the episode almost looking at you like, okay, that's the main character. Do you get what I mean?
I had a few appearances like that for sure. And the first one was the best one. It was never as sweet after that. It was awesome because it was the dearly departed Sean Locke and John Richardson and Hannibal Buress from America. And if you don't know him, he is a very brave and outspoken comedian who essentially outed Bill Cosby.
Oh, wow.
Even though everybody knew about Bill Cosby, but Hannibal did this routine that really got a lot of attention on the issue. And then Bill Cosby was tried for all of these crimes that he vigorously denies. But Hannibal was amazing. And I looked around and I thought, oh God. And of course, Jimmy Carr hosting, I was like, what am I going to do? I can't compete with them. I'm never going to be as funny as Sean Locke. And I was correct. And I said, all I can do is try to have my own voice and come from an authentic place. So everything had a spin that was uniquely my own. And that's how you get ahead in this industry, as I'm sure you know. It's not by being better or faster or smarter or funnier than anyone else. It's just having your own authentic voice, and then people will be drawn to you based on that authenticity alone. They'll be
Honestly,
like, she knows who she is.
Yeah, when I was first posting on social media, it was during COVID. I was just like talking about different TV shows that I liked, didn't like, different things, nothing too crazy really. And the second that I put down those barriers and was completely myself and spoke about things from only my point of view is when it really skyrocketed. That's so interesting that it worked for the same with you in the comedy world.
Yeah, people have like a spidey sense for... This is why people have turned on Meghan Markle lately. And I've been in the Daily Mail today for doing the same. I like Meghan Markle, but there's a disingenuousness to her new series that people get so angry about it. People are desperate for authenticity. And I feel like that is one of the things that's hurt television lately, and why people are getting their media and their news from social media, because social media is so much more immediate. It's so much more authentic. Creators are producing and editing themselves and speaking totally unfiltered, and that feels like intimacy. That feels like a friendship. That's what people want. So you have observed that then, as someone who is very much within the machine of like mainstream media. I mean, you said it before, but I remember the days, like I said, I'm 26. So it's this whole like social media only sort of vibe has really been since COVID, I think, where it's been like strictly people only really, taking the media from social media or the internet. But I remember the days when like if someone won Big Brother, they were the biggest celebrity in the country. Everyone friggin' knew that. When Josie Gibson won Big Brother, my dog was named Josie after Josie Gibson.
And that doesn't really happen anymore. And it's quite crazy. Whereas like a viral moment can happen on social media, or there can be a show that really takes off, like Traitors or something, that does get people. And I remember speaking about it with my little sister, talking about Traitors, and she was like, isn't it crazy that like everybody wants to like be there, sat there for the episode, like when it comes out? And I was like, that was TV. That was every show. Like if you liked a show, you had to be there at the time that it was on, otherwise you could miss it. Unless you were fancy enough to have something that you could record with. That was really cool. But how is that, like, observing and feeling that transition as someone within the broadcast space?
Slightly terrifying, but we should have seen it coming, because I remember when I started, there would be people who were on Coronation Street or Hollyoaks when those were the only thing, like EastEnders, when nothing else was on. And they would say, do you remember when nothing else was on, when there were like 7 famous people and now everyone's on TV? And that was the attitude. Everyone's on TV now, everyone's on TV. And it did get quite saturated. And, you know, everything evolves. Nothing stays the same forever. So you enjoy it while you can. And I've tried to evolve poorly. Like it's not as authentic to me. I'm
sorry. You have a smashing podcast. Your social media presence is very much alive and well. Like, I think that you're being a bit of a discredit to yourself.
Well, social media, it's just a bit it's less authentic for me. I love the podcast. I love to be able to just chat long form. I love to do my tours. That's very authentic to me. But to get my phone and to look into that little black mirror and be like, get ready with me, I can't.
Yeah, I so get you. I mean, people, when they hear that I do like TikTok and stuff, people expect me to be able to be like, woo, and like that. And I'm just so not that. Like, I very much put my phone down, ramble for like 3 minutes, and then hit pause. And that's why I also love having the podcast, because I can just like, you know, stream of thoughts, like letting it out. But yeah, it's very interesting for someone like me who randomly and accidentally fell into the social media world. And now, like, I was just on I'm a Celebrity Australia.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And you're not even tanned.
I actually got more pale whilst I was there. Yeah.
Because you're in the bush.
Very much in the bush. Yeah. Not great. But
how was that?
It was crazy. Like, truly the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life. I'm sure that you know people that have done it. Crazy on all accounts, but I made it through. And I was in the jungle for 29 days total. God knows bloody how. But yeah, that was a crazy time. So if Violet ever ends up doing it, then I'll give her some tips.
Violet might. I will not. Like, there's no tax bill in the world.
I swear to God, Catherine. It, like, for me, it was a show that I grew up watching, and I have also, as someone in the social media space who really respects broadcasts and all the traditional media, and I would really love to get involved in them. I love being able to like dabble in radio here, do little things like that. When this came through, I was like, if you would have told, you know, 11-year-old Max that he could go on I'm a Celeb to get me out of here, he would have jumped at the thought of it. So I kind of did it for my past self.
It's nice to honor those childhood wishes. Yeah.
But Christ alive, it was difficult. Like, Jesus, it was a lot.
It looks hard. It looks awful.
Oh my gosh. But it's so interesting. Like, me being there, obviously I was in there with like the Graham Norton of Australia, like the Gary Lineker of Australia, all these major Australian celebs. And they were all saying the same thing of like, yeah, my agent the other day told me that I should start posting TikToks. Like, what? And I was like, that's so interesting, because my agent is like, okay, so you're doing really well with your social media, so let's try to get a relationship with like Radio 1, Capital, like all of this stuff. So, and I mean, I had a conversation when I got back from I'm a Celeb with like the main broadcast people at my management, and they said, like, it's very much in a transitional phase now where they believe that in like the next 10 years, the big broadcasting channels could be very much a mixture of people that came up on the internet and people that have always been doing it, and then putting those two together and seeing how it goes. And I just find that quite fast. I mean,
they've been trying to do that my entire career. They will always say, commissioners and producers will go, how can we get influencers and, you know, YouTube personalities and social media stars, how can we get them on television? And they've tried. And again, I mean, I've seen it really crash and burn. I've seen a few examples of it working well lately, but even 10 years ago, they were trying to do it. And I think, again, it is a language barrier. It's like it's a different culture slightly. So the authenticity is maybe lost.
Yeah, there's something
that must bother a creator that they don't do the edit. They're like, what? I just sit here and talk and then someone else does the edit? I don't like that.
100%. When I went into I'm a Celebrity, that was maybe my biggest concern.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know that deep down I'm not this evil monster that's going to get unearthed, like when the cameras are on me 24/7 or anything like that.
You should have gone with that, though. That would have been fun.
Yeah,
the villain.
actually. That's a really good idea. Maybe next time. But I still was like, well, what if they could put a spin on? On my first day, I had a panic attack and fainted because I was scared that the producers had set me up to look like an idiot. And I started to panic. But obviously, then I just realized, no, you're overthinking everything. But that is a very genuine thing. Like, since this became my career, I get to oversee every single thing that gets put out. And you do feel a connection and kind of a protectiveness to that.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people that come up on TV are just like, yeah, you do whatever, you're in control, like I'll do this, I'll perform and do my job over here, and then you edit it however you want.
This is why I have so little respect for actors. They don't even write the words that they say. Like, someone tells them words to say, and then they
100%.
stand there looking gormless and they say the words. I'm like, what?
Tom Cruise, loser. Oh my God.
Well, he does his own stunts.
Oh yeah, fair enough. And he's into Scientology, so I'm scared of him. Wow. Yeah, so you are in the UK, you've started to get these TV opportunities, you're making a name for yourself. Is the UK comedy scene quite friendly?
Yeah.
Really? That's so nice to know.
It's been to me, and especially the women. We have a female comedian WhatsApp group.
Oh, who's in it?
So many people that I don't even know because I'm old now and they're new. There are some, like, diverse names that there weren't there 15 years ago, and like lots of different people coming in, which is great, which I hope that I helped to like rein in and bring forward rather than like shut the door.
No, definitely.
Because there are a lot of feminists like that too, like Margaret Thatcher, who'll be like, me, and then pull the ladder up and be like, no one else, Beyonce. But yeah, it's great. Everyone has been nothing but welcoming to me. It's an industry that I think polices itself very well, with the exception of like a few bad apples who eventually get canceled. But I mean, everyone has just been so nice. Comedians, though, like a lot of comedians are very
introverted. My experience, weird, anyway.
Neurodiverse.
Like, when I first met you, I was not shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised with how sociable and normal you are, if you get what I mean. Because I have met some comedians and I've worked with, well, I actually did for Last One Laughing UK, the new Prime Video show. I got to go on set and interview them as they got eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
And like do some bits. And you do kind of get this sudden realization that a lot of comedy is very funny circumstantially. And a lot of these people are comedians because they don't fit into society. And they were, exactly as we said before, they were the outcasts. They were the people that, didn't quite find their tribe at things like school and kind of had to make their own tribe, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So I've run into that a lot. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Well, I think now they're being diagnosed as neurodiverse. So we didn't understand that when we were starting. We're like, all of us are a bit weird.
Yeah.
And the boys especially, I will say, and I love the boys, but the women in comedy seem to be more like socially normal, but maybe we're masking. The women are nice. The women like grew up with parents who loved them.
Yeah.
It didn't benefit us at school to be funny. Like it benefited the strange boys. They learned funny as a defense mechanism and it made them cool. It never made us cool. If you were a funny girl in school at my age, it was weird. It was like, who does she think she is? That strange one.
Why do you think that people are threatened by funny women?
I don't know if they're threatened. I think that comedy is received, not given. So you have to have a certain sense of humor to find anything funny. And there are people who just don't like women in that role, and they'll say, well, women aren't funny. I've heard a lot about, because I do listen, and people will say, well, women just talk about women's things. Women talk about motherhood, women talk about their bodies and their relationships, and men talk about universal subjects. But I don't think that's the case. I think anyone in like a diverse demographic might agree with me, whether that be from a different socioeconomic background than you're used to seeing on TV, or a different ethnicity or different cultural background, or a different like gender or orientation. The straight white male gaze is considered universal. So if a straight white man is talking about something, I relate to that. I know what he's talking about. That's universal. But if I talk about something, oh, that's niche. She's a mom. Because a lot of the guys are talking about being a husband, being a dad, and being a guy. They're not talking about universal things. We just consider the straight white male gaze to be the default.
That's fascinating. I've never thought about it like that, because I have a lot of, especially in like the, you know, influencer space in the UK, a lot of the successful people that come from stuff like TikTok are often comedy based. And a lot of those are women. And I could post a video about a certain topic and, you know, have it more generally well received. And my female counterparts will post and their appearance will be critiqued. And then they'll be like, this bird's not even funny. Why is she doing this? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I find it very fascinating and bizarre.
They go for appearance too. It's so weird.
Always.
It's so predictable.
Literally every single time. Like, I will look absolutely busted, greasy face, like double chin on 10. And I mean, the lovely viewers of the podcast will point it out because they're my friends and they like to keep me humble and grounded. But usually, I just always see my female counterparts getting their appearance picked apart. And it's so bizarre to me when I feel like what they're delivering has nothing to do with their appearance. They're not models. They're not, you know, they're speaking and they're being comedic. And that's the last thing that I would think about if I watched them do their thing.
It's weird.
Weird losers.
And that's the go-to for women. If you want to destabilize them or undermine them, you go fat, ugly, crazy bitch. Those are the ones.
Oh my God.
It's fine. You just learn to absorb those as compliments.
Yeah. My God, I got a bit excited when you said those, actually. So you spoke to Louis Theroux a few years ago.
Yes.
The famous interview, everybody's probably seen it. And you spoke about like an unnamed sort of secret that everybody in the entertainment industry was kind of privy to. There was a big male personality in the British entertainment industry that was, you know, being a perpetrator of sexual assault. And you then did not obviously name the person, but years later Russell Brand got a lot of accusations made against him.
Which he vigorously denies.
And now he's the most religious person in the entire world, which is normal. Were you talking about him in that interview?
I never say who I'm talking about in the interview. And again, I think it's because the attention always goes to the male experience. I was asked about my experience in the industry, and I feel like who I was talking about, even though people have their, you know, guesses, fine. Who I was talking about, I think is irrelevant. It's more about what a lot of women in my industry go through when you're asked to sit next to someone whom you believe based on firsthand stories from other women in your industry, because that's all we can do is share stories and talk. These things are very difficult to prove, especially when people don't always want to come forward for a variety of reasons. It becomes everything about your identity sometimes when you are a survivor of any type of Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah.
The first thing will be like, oh, Ike
Yeah.
and Tina, and it will be talked about even in like a Jay-Z song, or like her experience with domestic violence is so linked to who she is. And I think a lot of women are like, I'm not going to speak about it. They internalize a man's shame as their own and they stay quiet. And they speak quietly in circles. So women who I know and women who I love and trust have told me about their experiences with someone who that I think it makes him a very dangerous person. I didn't want to work with him. And that's what I was trying to say to Louis Theroux. It's like sometimes we're put in positions in this industry where we have to either stay home from work or work with someone about whom there is a widely known open secret, historical instances like that. And we just have to make that decision because we're not protected. It's very difficult to remove these people. Yeah. So that's why, like, and I never wanted to make it about who. I didn't want to make it a guessing game. I became like the Nancy Drew of famous comedy sex predators overnight.
Because that's not really the point that you're making. You're not trying to expose something. You're trying to speak on the wider issue of there are probably in multiple sectors women who every day have to go to work with somebody.
Yeah, not just entertainment.
Yeah, with somebody that they know is inappropriate, unacceptable, and they're afraid to speak up because they fear that that will then become their identity.
And by the way, people were like, well, because you didn't name him, you're part of the problem and you made him more dangerous. Number one, everybody knew who I was talking
100%.
about in the instance that I told Louis Theroux about, because I worked with him. And what I said to him, I said in front of hundreds of people. But secondly, people are like, why didn't you tell the police? Why didn't you tell journalists? Police know, and journalists know. They would ring me and say his name. They never wanted his name. They wanted the women's names. They wanted me to grass out these women.
How crazy is
Yeah.
that?
And I'd be like, well, these women have decided for whatever reason, and I respect a woman's autonomy to her body like I respect a woman's autonomy of her voice. These women don't want to talk to you about it. And I actually respect a woman's decision not to do that. Because if you do come out and you lose, or people don't believe you, or it is difficult to prove, then that's your reputation.
Monica Lewinsky.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like crazy. Like when you think of Monica Lewinsky, what is the one thing that you think about?
I know.
And she did an interview recently with
Call Her Daddy?
Yes.
I saw.
And that's fascinating. Like how fascinating. She said like she could not get a job anywhere. Like and what she done?
She was a 22-year-old girl, and he was the 49-year-old president of the United States. Like, talk about a power imbalance and an abuse of that position.
Oh my God.
But like, times are weird.
Yeah.
It's better than it was, luckily.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, so as somebody who has been in the entertainment industry for a while now, you are a woman in probably a male-dominated space. Where do you think we can improve? Like, where do you see us going, and how do you think that we're making steps in the right direction to aiding everything that we've just spoken about? And what are those steps?
I do think people feel more comfortable talking about their experience now on shows. There is an HR department, or there'll be like an intimacy coach, or there'll be like rules set out. There'll be an HR meeting, for lack of a better term, about like, this is what's appropriate behavior, this is what's not. And it's tricky in a comedy industry when everyone's joking, but they're very clear from the jump of any production, like, this is what is crossing the line. And I think that's useful. There are lines of communication and methods where people can go and anonymously say if they don't feel safe, and it will be handled. That didn't exist when I started. But also, I like the social media takeover, because I think that is a response to commissioners and channels not reflecting Britain. It's like they weren't diverse enough. They weren't moving forward. They weren't evolving with like what people wanted to see. They were putting the safest thing on television. When I started, it was usually straight white men who were also all went to the same school. Even like class. We don't even have private schools in Canada. I didn't understand. This is working class, and only 7% of people in entertainment are working class in this country. Danny Dyer just came out and had a quote about that the other day.
Oh my gosh.
For me, I'm like, what does that mean? I know what it means, but we do not have that divide in Canada at all. And here, just because of, you know, the way that Britain is, like the colonialism and the royal family and everything else, you guys almost accept that, like, well, these people go to that school and they can have those jobs, and I'm working class, so I'll just, and it's weird that you guys even allow that to go on.
I remember at high school, the very top people in our year group, and there was only like 3 of them, got to go to, as like a school trip, like the open day for Cambridge and Oxford. And it wasn't until later in life that I realized, like, anybody can go to these open days. Like, we just got, like, they were just told, like, oh, you've probably got the best chance because like nobody else here does, really. So as a joke, I applied to Oxford to do art, and I did not get in at all. But I just thought I'd just put it on the application and thought it would be lols. But it's really, like, I come from, you know, a very working class town. And exactly what you said, it was. So I went to uni in Bristol first to do film studies. And when I got there, I was so far behind everybody else that had already been doing film at like GCSE level because their schools offered it, whereas mine didn't. They all came from, you know, different families or areas where it was just normal to be able to afford to send your kid to film school for the summer.
Or they can take an unpaid internship.
Yep, 100%. So I was so far behind that I had to drop out and take a different career path. But it is very much inbuilt into our country. It really is.
But social media, I think, has provided an answer to that. It's like people will find what they want to watch, and they want to hear different stories, and they can find those.
It gives people a voice as well.
There are no gatekeepers in social media. It's the audience who really decides like what they want, and the algorithm and the Chinese government. But, you know.
What's new? Last question before we invite the icon to the set.
Ooh.
Given everything that we spoke about, you have got your daughter Violet and your family on your reality TV show. Do you have any trepidation with incorporating her as a young girl into the entertainment industry?
Yes.
What is that? Like, what did you have to have a conversation with your husband where you were like, what do we do? Like, you know, do we go for this, or how do we manage this?
I think it was very much led by Violet. I kept her off social media for most of her life. I didn't even post any photos of her for over a decade.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. And then she became a little Blanket Jackson about that. She was like, why are you
Blanket Jackson?
She was like, why am I totally off social media? A lot of my friends are on social media. And then we gave her a taste. We'd put her on a little bit. We do have certain boundaries with it. If you're 15 years old, I don't think that you should have password protected accounts.
Right.
I think your parents should be able to spot check your phone at any time. And that's not because we don't trust Violet, but just because she is a vulnerable person, whether she recognizes it or not at 15, to like whomever on the internet.
100%.
And when you expose someone to a nation on a reality show, and it's been sold in other countries now, like she could be trolled for that. Again, at her age, you want to blend in with everyone else. You don't want to stick your head above the parapet and be different. And it does make her a target, even for girls at school, to be like, well, why are you on this reality show? Why'd you say this? Or people online to comment. But we just made that judgment call. Like, Violet has my just complete imperviousness to criticism. She really doesn't mind. I feel confident in uniquely her ability. I wouldn't say put every 15-year-old on a reality show.
Of course.
And there are certain things we wouldn't discuss. Like, they wanted us to do a scene with some furries. And I was like, I'm protecting other people's kids in this. I'm like,
And myself. Yeah. Wow.
I was like, should we protect the furry kids
Yeah.
who might feel exposed,
Ostracized.
ostracized?
Yeah.
And 2 years down the line, they might go, I really regret being outed as a furry on that reality show. So you just think
There's a lot to think about. I think the parents that say, I'm never going to give my child social media, my child's not going to have a phone, you are literally stopping your child from being at the same level as everyone else. They're going to get to high school and everyone's going to know how to use an iPad and know how to use a phone. Like, it's only growing and changing. A lot of businesses now, a lot of jobs involve social media. You need to know how these things work, and I think there is a way to do it safely from a parent's point of view, and it sounds like you're doing just that.
I mean, there are some some slip-ups, but nothing too major. But I've said to Violet that it's like our 3-year-old son Fred. I've said it's like giving Fred a chainsaw. A chainsaw can be a very useful tool for like creating and building, but if you give it to a 3-year-old, he's going to tear the house apart and hurt himself.
Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant analogy.
Yeah, and I think social media is the same. So she does need to be supervised with that tool. And I think it's tricky because I've read a study about girls' brains, specifically young women, get so much dopamine and so much enrichment from talking with their friends. They need that more than any other demographic. And if you take Snapchat away, you are cutting them off and isolating
100%.
them. And I don't want Violet to be isolated from that very enriching experience of having a connection with her girlfriends.
Yeah, obviously it's different because I'm a little bit older, but like I had a Facebook account when I was in high school, and because of that I could get home and make plans with my friends for the weekend. And then there was this one boy in our friend group who his mum wouldn't allow him to do Facebook, so therefore we had no way to contact him. We couldn't so we ended up eventually getting his landline number, if anyone remembers those, throwback. And then we'd call his parents, who would then pass on the message and everything. But that little hurdle can really be a big deal when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Spending time with your friends at weekends makes you who you are at the end of the day around that age. So
it's as important as education. It's really special.
100%. Well, I mean, on this topic, I think it's about time that we bring out the Northwest to your Kim Kardashian. Welcome in Violet. Oh.
Hello, girl.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming. I feel so cool because you're here.
I feel so cool because I'm here.
This is giving me so much street cred with the Gen Zs. I'm also Gen Z, but I speak about Gen Z people as if they're a different life away from me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate, I'm sure that you have so many things that you would rather be doing right now. So I am very appreciative.
I would not do anything else.
Oh,
I love
She
it.
loves
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, you might know Violet from Catherine's reality show At Home with Catherine Ryan, or from her iconic TikToks. You're all over my For You page. But for those who don't know, how old are you?
I'm 15.
She's a young queen. A young
16
queen.
soon, though.
16 soon.
In June, I don't think that's
Oh,
very
are you
soon.
having like a big party? Is it a sweet 16 moment or?
I'm looking at you for this.
Right,
I
okay.
don't know.
We're going to New York again.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's so fun.
because
That'll be
we have
sick.
a lot of kids now.
Yes.
And so tell them what we did last year
We went to New York.
on a Taylor Swift stalking
on a Taylor
journey.
Swift stalking journey.
We stayed at the Greenwich Hotel.
Yeah.
We went by Cornelia Street.
No.
We just saw all her properties, all the places she's written music.
Oh my gosh. I think I saw you at the BAFTAs and you were about to go to that. Would
Yes.
that have been similar time? Or you
Yes.
just got back? I can't remember.
We were about to go.
Oh my god. Also, that's the twattiest sentence I've ever said. Like, I think you were talking about your Taylor Swift stalking spree when we were at the BAFTAs.
I laughed.
Wow, Violet, your life must just be so cool. I want to know, as somebody who is 15 years old, you know, going to school in London, what is the best thing about having a famous mom, and what is the worst thing?
Well, the best thing is like the people, not the people. I don't know how to say it's not sounding bratty, but I really like the people that I meet because of it. Like, I meet so many cool people that I would not have been able to meet before.
That doesn't sound bratty at
I
all.
know, but I don't know. I'm not like using you for the people, by the way.
She's like, I want you to know I don't care about you, and I would never use you. Yeah.
I know, but I really love meeting the people. Like, I have always been obsessed with you. I really don't know if you know this. I didn't want to sound like an insane, crazy
Oh my
fan.
God.
But I would sit in my room, laugh out loud, like scream laughing to your Disney videos, where you just show your like Disney hauls and all the pins you've got.
Oh my
I would
Christ.
be dying. I'd show them to my mum. We'd both be dying. I'd show them to my friends. I'd favorite them. I was like, then I saw you at the Mean Girls thing. I posted a video on my Snapchat story. I still have it on my phone. I'm like, Max Balegde here. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I was like freaking out. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
God. And then GK Barry commented on my TikTok. I'm still not over that.
GK Barry is great, by the way. Have you ever met her?
No.
Oh, she's lovely. She's really great. I just did I'm a Celeb, and she just did I'm a Celeb UK. The day before I went in, I called her and I was like having a panic attack, and I was like, tell me everything. She was like, the toilets are horrible, and like you're gonna eat shit every day. Like, I don't know what accent that was. It was quite close actually, I feel.
Yeah,
but yeah, she's lovely. Oh my god. So we met at if anyone remembers, Mean Girls came back and did a musical of the musical that is iconic. I don't know if you've seen the musical.
Yes, we have.
Love the musical. And the movie musical got terrible reviews. Everyone hated it, which is really sad because I personally enjoyed it. I don't know about you.
I loved it.
I loved it as well, but it got torn to shreds online, which is sad times. But the only positive out of that is that we got to meet each other because at the UK premiere for it, or like a screening for it, I don't know, we had a good time. You just like walked over to me and Catherine was like, hey, I was about to try and do your accent. I'm not going to do that.
You've done a lot of good impressions today.
Thank
Bonnie
you.
Blue, you started strong.
And you were like, is it okay if my daughter gets a picture? And I was like, is it okay if I get a picture with you? And now, I hate to say it, Catherine, I might be more obsessed with Violet than I am with you now. I'm sorry, she's kind of coming for your throne a little
Full
bit.
circle.
But yeah, we met there and it was just glorious.
I Snapchatted about 1,000 of my friends and I was like, you guys won't believe who's here, because I was non-stop showing them your videos at school being like, he's the funniest person ever.
Oh my god.
And they were all like crazy.
Oh my god, that era of my life where I went to Disneyland and spent more money in the gift shop than I did on the entire holiday will follow me for the rest of my life. I'm currently campaigning to prove to Disney that I can be a responsible adult, and that was the old me and now I'm the new me.
And now you're petitioning to go to Disney
Now
again.
I'm petitioning to go to Disney again, but now Andrew, my boyfriend, is the one that is reluctant to go because we've only ever been to Disneyland.
I've been to Disney World.
I want to go to Disney World, and that's quite the 2-week experience. It's not a quick weekend on the Eurostar sort of situation. So I'm really trying to persuade him. So guys, any help in the comments, that would be amazing.
And you would like it to be #Spawn.
I mean, that's the dream.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, Disney should maybe consider that, but I think it would be really mutually beneficial if that was to happen. However, I am so passionate about it, I will just pay for myself to go as well. I'm glad you brought that up though, Violet.
Anyway, sorry, the worst bit about having...
Anyway, let me get back to the worst thing about my mom.
Let's go to the worst thing about my mom. I'm so sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent there about how much...
No, it's great. Don't worry.
The worst bit is probably when people show me like a really like embarrassing clips at school and be like, is this your mom? Yeah. Or like at house parties. Oh my God, leave me alone. Like boys will come up to me at house parties and be like, Violet Ryan. I'll be like, I don't know you, but hi. Like, it's so like, I don't know, like that.
What clips in particular do you often get shown?
Great question.
Just clips where she talks about Bobby and like,
yeah, I talk quite like sexually aggressively about my husband, but that's part of the shtick. Like,
of course.
Violet knows I sleep in the nursery like that fucking dog on Peter Pan. Like I don't see a lot of my husband at all. But I think it's nice to be romantic about him.
100%.
And he's my childhood sweetheart.
Yes,
and
yes.
I do love him.
I wanted to ask about that. So you met Bobby in high school.
When I was Violet's age.
That's 15.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you broke up. Mm-hmm. And then when did you meet again?
I was filming an ancestry show, which is not how you hope to pull someone, because most of the people on the show are my dead family members. But it's not ideal. But I went home to film it, and I told you at the start of our chat today that just like you, the people in my town do not leave my town.
Yes.
So they're all exactly where I left them 20 years before. I hadn't seen Bobby in 20 years.
Wow.
And he was in the pub, and I just decided to like go home with him because I thought it would be funny. I did it for a joke. I thought all my high school girlfriends would really appreciate the anecdote. But I did really love him.
You did it for the plot.
Yes.
Yes.
And so then we got married 9 months later.
Of course. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And now you've got 2 beautiful children together.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Violet looks more like Bobby than she looks like me.
Really?
People comment all the time online. And Violet's cousin on Bobby's side, those two are like joined at the hip, and they're like twins. Because like I said, again, the town is a very shallow genetic pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chances are there's some relation there.
Uh-huh.
he's actually your younger brother. So.
Yeah. We have so much in common. Grandparents.
Oh my God. Yeah. One day you had to sit him down and you were like, look, I don't know how far we can go with this relationship. Let's just be cousins.
Yeah. The newest kids have flippers. They're so cute.
Oh, bless.
They swim so fast.
So Violet, as I've said, I'm living vicariously through your TikToks. I love when you talk about like different parties, your life at school or your friends, stuff like that. We are both Gen Z. You are very much the lower end. I am an elder Gen Z.
I'm the last year of Gen Z.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
First and last year of Gen Z
Oh
unite.
my God.
2009 is the last year.
Wow, that's crazy. So I really want to know if these things are still cool to Gen Z. Because I mean, Gen Z are my lifeblood. I need to like, you know, absorb all the youth from you that I can get, try to maintain my relevancy. And so I'm going to list a bunch of things right now, and you need to tell me if you or Gen Z still think that this thing is cool. Okay. First thing, I'm going to go through the social medias because this is my job, and I'm really going to be taking notes. Maisie, please get a notebook out. I want it scripted word for word. Thank you. What are your thoughts on Snapchat?
I love Snapchat. Use it every day. Use it
Okay.
all day, every day.
Oh my gosh, okay, because I'm really becoming a Snapchat king right now. I'm posting quite a lot, or I'm trying to.
Publicly?
Publicly, yes. It shouldn't be public.
I don't have a public Snapchat account, but a lot of like influencers and content creators very much do.
Yes.
And I think that is really good because it gives people more of an insight on their
life. So Snapchat,
you may not post on Snapchat.
Snapchat for me was very much a thing when I was your age. Oh, I felt so old saying that. Oh my God. I hated that so much.
When I was your age.
Oh, gross. When I was back in my day. I would use Snapchat to converse with my friends, to sort out plans. It was very much the home of group chats. There was group chats on Facebook, but not really as much. Like Snapchat, you could see when people were on it, and it was really fun. Also, Snap Maps became a thing. That's so cool to see if your friend is actually at that boy's house. Like, that's quite interesting to see. But then it completely disappeared, died off, fell off the face of the earth. And around a year ago, Snapchat asked me to come to like Snap School. And they were like, everyone's on Snapchat, you need to be on Snapchat. And I was like, what? And a good, like maybe 3-4 months ago, I've actually taken it on board, and now I am trying to be a Snapchat king.
Hey.
So any tips that you can give to me, I would love.
Well, there's like a difference. If there's influencers and you're an influencer and you post on Snapchat, I am by no means an influencer at all.
I mean, I beg to differ.
I was
but...
invited to the #influence party. I'm so excited about that.
We'll get onto that. Don't you worry.
So I feel like, do you know Amy Charlize? You must
I do.
On TikTok,
Yes, yeah.
She posts a lot on Snapchat, and that's very much her life.
She told me that she bought a BMW just off the money that she gets from Snapchat. To which I replied, I've earned £5.60 from Snapchat in 3 months.
You earn money from Snapchat?
I know. People get money from just seeing Snapchat stories. I went to the Snap school, and they told me that if you want to be a serious Snapchatter, you have to post anywhere between like 50 to 250 Snapchat stories a day.
Huh?
And I said, my life's not that interesting, sir. I'm sorry. Wild. But yeah, everyone's on Snapchat making thousands of pounds. Catherine, we need to sort this out, actually. Are you making notes?
I've taken this notes. Post snaps on Snap.
Yeah.
Add location snap maps.
Perfect.
Enroll in Snap School.
Yes.
Crash the influencer party.
No, you may
Yes.
And I need between 50 and 200 stories a day.
A day, yeah. Easy. Sounds easy enough. Brilliant.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah.
So
I
useful
mean,
being here.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I've maybe got to like, on a good day, I went to like the Sidemen charity match. I thought that would be a good day to Snapchat about. I
heard
maybe
about
did
that.
like 30 to 50 stories that day.
Yes.
And that was a lot for me. Like, I don't really want to, just be snapping everything.
I post that
feel.
much in my private story, but that has 7 people on it. You're not
See, there we go. So, I mean, when the time comes, I feel like you probably have to be over 18 to be earning money on Snapchat. But, I mean, go. You're already setting
Annie's
yourself up.
only 17.
Oh, yeah, maybe
I
it's
wanna
over
say.
16. It might
Don't
be over
grass
16.
this girl out.
You've just got a BMW taken off her. It's been repoed right now.
Oh, no, it's
She's in
parent
prison.
managed. It's parent managed.
Right, okay. Next one. Instagram.
Love Instagram.
Okay, so we're still
Yeah.
loving Instagram. Are we taking photos on Instagram, or are we just like videos, or like what's cool?
It's tricky with Instagram because I see a lot of influencers posting a lot of like grid posts, like the posts that like stay for a long time.
Yeah.
I only have 2 of them,
Wow.
and that's from the
Okay.
Eras tour and my trip to Marbella.
Wow.
But I feel like I should post more, but I don't want to post more because I feel like I cannot delete them, and I feel that's like a bit. Ugh.
You can literally delete them.
I know, but like they stay there forever.
It
Like,
feels
people-
more permanent, you mean?
It does feel more
There's
permanent.
something, so what you're telling me is that something feels more permanent about a grid post than it does about a reel, despite
Yeah.
the fact that they are literally housed and live in the same place.
Not even a reel, a story. I only post stories.
Oh, wow,
I have
okay.
highlights, but I feel like that's more of a very like teenagery thing, and I feel like there's a big difference because again, using Amy Charlize, she posts a lot of like grid posts,
Yes.
and they do really well.
Yes. I mean,
But it's not monetized.
it is not monetized on Instagram. That's a great point, Catherine. Thank you. Write that down.
And
as
I've
well,
also
please,
written
if you
down teenagers have commitment issues.
could. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm also getting that. Sorry, Violet.
that's fine.
So I post grid posts. I'm going to come out. Okay. I feel
love
like it's
that.
2025.
I do follow
know.
you on Instagram. I do like all your grid posts.
Thank you, Violet.
No
Thank you.
worries.
So I'm doing something okay, is what we're saying. I'm not
Yes.
like I'm not a picture perfect Instagrammer who will like get a professional lighting and thingy. I'm very much like get a picture on my phone. Oh, I think that's funny. I'll post it.
Yeah.
So is that okay with you if I'm a bit more quirky about it and I'm like,
I love that.
Okay.
Like I don't like. I wouldn't be like, oh, he's posting a grid post
oh my
because like
God, thank God.
if you're having fun doing it and you enjoy doing it and you're profiting off of it and you
Yes.
get likes off of it,
Yes.
why would you stop doing it?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Violet.
Can I
Honestly.
ask, if Max shat in his hands and clapped, would you think that was cool? as well?
Would he profit off that?
Can you monetize? Yes.
100%. Probably make
God.
more money than everybody in this building if I was doing that, to be honest with you.
Oh god.
Yeah. Okay, right. Swiftly moving on. Twitter. Or X. Dead.
No, I think that it's a bit weird now. Like
Yeah,
if you're
I
on
agree.
Twitter, like, ugh.
It became, when Elon Musk bought it, I started to see videos of people being actually murdered.
Excuse me. That is my exact experience. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm off of it.
Yeah, like actual, like I saw this one video of like CCTV footage of a factory in China where a man got dragged into a machine and got his entire body dismembered and then came out the other side. And I thought this is where people commented on like TV shows that they were watching. When did this happen? So I'm glad that, you know, the younger Gen Zs also don't really like it.
I only go on Twitter for one reason, and that is to track Taylor Swift's flights. I don't know if anyone else does that.
Yes, the Twitter
but
I have seen.
I only do that, and then I absolutely swipe off. I don't go on and scroll because there was a time, I don't know if anyone remembers this, it was a very traumatizing, very serious traumatizing moment for me. There was a video of a cat going around. I can't even speak about it.
Yeah.
I would not like to
Same sort of thing, just violence.
I would not like to speak about this. My cat is my child.
What's your cat called?
Willow
Taylor.
Taylor.
Oh, I got the reference immediately.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's incredible.
But there was a cat in blind that I was like, my friends would show it to me. I'd be like, no, leave me alone, leave me alone.
Crazy.
It was
It's
insane.
crazy.
That is weird.
No, I'm happy to leave Twitter in the past. I've not been on Twitter I deleted my account 2 years ago, I want to say, when it became like, even before it became the Elon thing, actually. I thought it's been crazy for a while. So I'm glad that we're on the same page with that. Leave Twitter in the past. TikTok.
Love TikTok.
Love?
I love TikTok. I'm almost at 50k, which is
Oh,
insane.
What's your exact username?
Violet Ryan 13.
Guys, follow right now. We're trying to get her to 50k. I believe that we can do it by the end of this episode.
Oh my god, no. You have to follow me.
I mean, I love your TikTok personally.
thank
I
you.
feel like it gives me such an insight. It's, for me, TikTok is where you post things that, similar to what you said about that like solidity and it feels like it's there. I feel like I can post stuff on TikTok that is just like a random thought or a feeling, and then it's just gone into the ether, and it feels quite cathartic.
I love it. Yeah, thank you so much for saying that you watch my TikTok.
Oh my god, I
That's
do.
actually insane.
I do.
I got recognized, and I like for my TikTok.
No.
And I was literally screaming. To be fair, I was with my friend Liberty, who does have a lot more followers than me. But I was with Liberty, and we were at a concert, and then they turn around and they go, "Oh my god, are you Violet Ryan? I follow you." I scream. I'm not nonchalant about it. Or I'm like, "Oh my god." She's like, "Can we get a picture?" I'm like, "Yes." And I like start freaking out, and I was not
my
like.
god.
Was this a little girl or an old man?
It was a girl. She looked about my age. I was like, if an old man asked me for a picture, I'd still say.
I think you should post more on TikTok, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I
You
like
say
where it's
post
going.
less.
No, I like to see you talking.
TikTok's very child safe as well. I very rarely will see anything that's crazy on TikTok. It's very
Unless
like-
it's Ash Trevino, then I don't see anything crazy on
oh
TikTok.
yeah, that's a bit.
And I know
crazy.
it's safe because a lot of my videos are demonetized.
Yes, they're trying to block out the hate and just show the love. No, but even, I mean, I share that sentiment because I learned very quickly that if I want to be posted on TikTok, got to fit a certain type of box, which I'm okay with. I mean, you can still be very funny, just not be, disgusting, which I've learned.
That's fair. There's
Yeah,
children
that
on
is very fair. No, love that. I'm so glad that TikTok's still popping. When it was being taken, when I went into the jungle, it was of the time where in 3 days we were going to find out whether TikTok was still existing or not. So I very much thought I could come out and one of my biggest sources of income could just be gone. So I became at peace with that and was just like, I'm living in the moment. I'm a jungle man now. Who even needs the internet? Like, electricity is loser. Like,
Didn't you miss the Super Bowl as well?
I missed the Super Bowl. I missed so many things. Yeah. But it felt great. And
You
now
were
I'm back
nourishing
in. Nourishing.
11-year-old Max.
My
Connected with the
skin
nature.
has never been better than having no skincare products, which is crazy. I think that's heavily down to the diet that you're on when you're in there, though, because you don't really get any processed foods at all. But wild times, guys. Treat yourself to a jungle. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Fine.
Next, YouTube.
I watch YouTube. I mainly watch Sailor Molded and James Charles. That's really all I watch.
James Charles is back.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, write that down. That's
James Charles is back.
interesting.
I feel like ever since that car series he did on TikTok. Did you watch that? He was like
Where
reviewing cars.
Yeah, he was trying to find a car.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
I feel like he's been back and he
So
has.
as like a Gen Z, I feel like you and your age group, like I said, my sister is just 2 years or like a year older than you. You are a very socially aware group of people, and James Charles is someone who has been cancelled many times. How do we like? Are you aware of like cancellations? But you like some people like they just kind of get through it. Is that the vibe?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. A lot of people get cancelled, like so many people, and it's difficult because unless they've done something like horribly wrong, and which he did do something wrong allegedly, because it wasn't. You
Well,
see
this
that
is the
media
thing.
training?
It's a great.
Allegedly.
You've taught
allegedly,
well.
it was never proven, right?
I don't actually know. Allegedly, I do not know, but I
Allegedly,
actually
we
do
don't
not
know
know.
anything.
Please let us know in the comments. None of us are
If I'm
obviously
wrong, I'm really
supporting
sorry.
James Charles's crazy past, if he has one, allegedly, we don't know. But I just find that interesting because you are an age group that hold people to the fire and hold people accountable for their actions, which, I mean, I was just speaking about with your mom, that there's, you know, in the more traditional media, back in the day, there were a lot of people that could get through the cracks, never being held accountable because people were being silenced. Whereas nowadays, with something like social media, one person with 5 followers can make a video about a celebrity and their experience with them, and it can become the most viral thing ever because of TikTok.
Better tip in restaurants.
Yeah, there you go. 100%.
I would, like, I don't know, I feel really bad whenever I see someone getting cancelled. I feel like if they do something wrong, they've done something wrong, maybe they deserve to have a platform. But you shouldn't ruin their life over it.
People take it too far. But also, I mean, it's a difficult one because people take it so far to the point where they're like, find where they live, slap their mum across the face, like tell their grandma that she ate shit as well, burn their house down, and then a month later they're like, oh well, that okay, that's fine.
That's it. I think the beauty of it today is if you get canceled, all you have to be is a little tenacious, and people don't have the attention span to keep it up. They'll be canceling someone else by the next week.
Isn't
Just
it?
hunker down.
Yeah.
Like James Charles. What about Patrick Starr? Back? What about that fat one who had the babies? Wasn't she like bad for a while?
Stop.
Trisha Paytas.
Mum, stop.
How dare you? I said fat one.
Okay, we are not dissing Trisha Paytas ever.
Yeah, but you didn't like her for a bit.
She was very cancelled for a while, and then she redeemed herself. I mean, I think a lot of there's also something to be said about acknowledging the things that you have done wrong and making space for the people that are hurt by that, and then moving on from it. And I think that she's done that quite well. So that's a great example, actually, Catherine. Thank you.
But people like cancelled for Astravino. They're like mass unfollowing of Astravino. You are watching her lives. You are sending her gifts. You are funding her bank account. Even though she's done all of these horrible things, you are watching what she's doing. You are not cancelling her. What are you doing? Like, if you want to cancel someone, but don't hate on them, send death threats to their 12-year-old children. Just leave it if you want to leave it.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. Have you watched the Ruby Frankie documentary? Do you know who she is?
Violet has recommended it to me.
You need to. I swear to God, it's crazy.
I know the hits of it, but I don't want to actually watch it because I've got kids and I'm going to get upset.
But it's not really as much. I get that. It's not really as much about that. It's more about like religion and how addictive social media fame can be.
Thank you.
It's very interesting. Like I feel very grateful that when I started to get social media followers, I was like in my 20s and I've never really taken myself too seriously, and because of the rise of TikTok and the peaks and troughs that you kind of experience with it, I've learned to accept that I might be doing really well one month and not that well the next, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference to who I am as a person.
She probably crashed out over it. She
big time crashed out.
She divorced her husband and got into a lesbian relationship with Jodie Hildebrand, which I mean,
crazy.
To each their own.
Oh, of course, but I mean, she was pretending to be like possessed by demons.
To each their own. Tie up your kids.
No, I meant like to each their own. If you don't feel happy with I mean, like, to each their own. If you do not feel happy with your current husband, you do not deserve to be in that relationship.
Yeah,
however,
Christ alive. There's ways to go about it, love.
Your best friend, I think.
Yeah, I know. Must watch though, Catherine. Must watch.
No,
Where
please
do you
watch
kids stand on the Bad Baby Alabama Barker?
Just educate me on the scenario. What has happened with Alabama and someone else?
Bad Baby.
Bad Baby.
So
okay.
we all know
is
Bad
she
Baby. Catch me
outside.
outside.
How about that?
And then who is you? I love her.
Wow.
I love her so much.
Wait, this is interesting. So we love her. Did she not like beat up her mom? Am I wrong?
Yes, she did.
Is that why we love her?
But we have figured out that her mum is a little bit. And she's been emailing Dr. Phil ever since Bad Baby was 2 years old, and there has been a bit of a...
bit of a Ruby Frankie sort of vibe from her.
Yes, and Bad Baby's had a very hard life. She's never had a dad. Like,
it's a tragic backwater family.
Right, okay.
Anyway, so Bad Baby... I'm just going to call her Danielle Bergoli because, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just refer to her as Bad Baby.
Yeah.
Well, Bad Baby had a baby daddy.
Oh.
And she was also suffering with cancer, bless her soul.
Oh, yes, I've seen this. Yeah.
She's very, very sick. And in that vulnerable position, Alabama Barker went and slept with her baby daddy.
Allegedly.
Wow.
No, she's admitted to it.
Her bad baby daddy.
She's admitted to it.
Okay.
She slept with her baby daddy, and Alabama didn't like that, and then wrote, I think I'm missing some bits, but wrote a diss track on her.
Wow.
Called Miss Whitman. The best. I was listening to it the other day when she was in my room. I love that song.
Wow. Okay.
I
And
love
Alabama
it.
Barker is Travis Barker's
Yes.
daughter
Yes.
from his
Yes.
previous
Know who
relationship.
she is.
They're both, they're doing very well off this beef.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alabama wrote one which a lot of people hated. It was
Wow.
It was like, don't mess with Big Mama. And I was like, what are you? It was just like quite secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
Then Bad Baby's releasing another one on Friday, which I've pre-ordered.
Right.
But
okay.
yeah.
Right. I just as a side note, I find it so iconic that you're friends with Mason Disick. Moving on. So YouTube, we love. We use it.
I love it. Love YouTube.
Okay.
Sorry, got majorly
it's not,
sidetracked there.
but it's not something that we're just like constantly on. It's just like if I want to watch a specific thing, I'll go to YouTube.
If I'm eating my food, I will put on YouTube on
Me
my
too.
iPad. I'm
Me
such an
too.
iPad kid. I will have my
Wow.
iPad. I will sit and play Blockbuster my bed for hours.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Next, Facebook.
I use that to stalk my teachers and look at what my grandparents are posting. But that's it.
Right, so there's no era. Facebook is dead. There is no era or world where you would, wake up after a party with your friends and upload an album of like 300 pictures where everyone looks terrible, but nobody really cares.
I do that on my story or my Finsta.
Right.
Isn't it
This is the new Facebook.
amazing
That was
use to
wild.
use Facebook?
And also you had to upload the pictures from like a digital camera, so they were always really high quality, dreadful, and you would take pictures of like your friend vomiting in a toilet, and she'd have vomit down her face, the most biggest backcombed fringe ever, and she'd just be like, oh, like maybe this even, and she wouldn't care. She wouldn't think about the digital footprint. She had no bother. But those days are over. We all now are a lot more aware.
I wish.
It's a relic. It's like
It is.
engraved tablets,
Oh,
Facebook.
bless. Okay, right. Moving on now to singers. Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Right.
love Taylor Swift. Sorry, I thought you were going to elaborate on that. I love Taylor
sorry.
Swift so much.
Yes.
So, someone asked me the question the other day. We were talking about in history. It was like Tank Man or something, very alleged topic. If you could stand in front of a tank for someone, who would you date? Everyone was like, my parents. And I said, my mum, my cat, and Taylor Swift. And everyone looked at me sideways. They were like, what? And my friend Kira was like, Violet, if someone had a gun and they said, I will shoot you, but you get to meet Taylor Swift first, would you do it? I said, yes.
That's very sad.
That's a lot.
what?
That's
Also,
a lot
you
to
have
take in.
siblings. You have baby siblings.
I do have
I mean,
baby
you
siblings.
also can survive a gunshot. Not that I'm recommending this.
You could.
But you could get shot in the foot. You could get
Maybe
shot in
in
the
the
hand.
foot.
They didn't
Yeah.
specify.
They didn't specify.
No.
It's understandable.
Or I
Over
could
the
just run
last
away.
few years, Taylor Swift has been responsible for more sobbing teenagers than Prince Andrew.
Wow, which is a
totally nailed it.
plus.
Okay.
Which is a
cool.
It never gets old.
plus. It does.
His type, but equally joking about it.
Oh Christ! Yeah, so true. Truer words were never spoken. Yeah, I mean, ironically, one of her hit songs, 22, way too old for Prince Andrew. Way too old. He wouldn't even consider.
Was he the one? I'm getting mixed
Yeah,
up.
don't
Not
worry.
Princess. Was
Don't
he the
worry
one
about it.
dancing in? No. Was he the one dancing in Wembley Arena to shake it off?
No,
No.
that is
That's
Prince William.
Sorry, guys.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
problematic in
very
different
different.
ways.
Yeah.
I was at a party with Prince Andrew once, and he was very romantically
Sweaty.
interested in a woman. Scoffing pizza. No, very interested in a woman who's older than I am,
Oh.
which is a green flag.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
It doesn't negate the other allegations, but
yeah. I
thought
mean,
good for him.
interesting anecdote though.
it was just last week. We had a blast. No.
Is that the one who wouldn't let Bobby in the room?
No, that was Prince Harry. What? Listen.
Sorry.
Are you just trying to like get ops and the entire
No,
royal
guys.
family at this point?
No.
Like, okay then. So Taylor Swift, we're very much on board.
Oh, I
with it because
love Taylor
she's
Swift.
someone that has been an icon since I was your age. Hated saying that again. Sorry. But she's really, really amping up and becoming someone that transcends generations. I feel.
Yeah.
She's
I
wonderful.
love it.
Yeah.
I feel like, because I used
What
to
is it
listen
about
to Shake
her?
It Off. I don't know. Everyone asks me, what is it about her? Because you start listening to like Shake It Off and like all the popular songs.
The
And
gateway
then-
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you like start listening to her music and you're like, oh my God. She has music for everything. She has country.
She does.
She has one rap song. She has like everything.
Oh, she's my queen. She is
I
absolutely
love
my queen.
Taylor
I
Swift.
think that she is so, her artistry is something else. And I'm guessing you got to go to the Eras tour, both of you. Yeah. That show was an incredible show of stamina. I have no
Yeah.
idea how she did it, truly.
I missed
She's
half
a-
of it, but it was amazing.
Oh, why did you miss
I
out?
passed out and had to get carried over the barrier by 4 men because I was screaming too
Oh
much.
my God. That's a brilliant story, to be fair.
Violet loves it because she's like, Taylor looked at me and
No,
said,
no, no,
can
no.
I get some help over here?
No,
I'm like,
really?
wow,
So I
what a
passed
claim to
out.
me.
No.
I passed out. I look up. Taylor Swift is performing Lavender Haze. She's on the little like
Yeah.
raising thing. She goes, "Oh, can we get some help over here?" Because everyone was flashing their lights and screaming.
She knows you.
Guys, stop it now.
You
she
had a
knows who I
conversation
am.
with Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my God, she would 100% remember you.
And then I
She-
passed
she'll
out
be able-
again,
oh,
so-
even more memorable.
Yeah.
She'd be able to pick you out of a lineup easy.
If you
Easy.
roll your eyes at the back of your head, she'll recognize you.
Yeah, especially if you've just been shot.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
perfect.
Oh my
100%.
Real
God.
my
equal relationship.
Yes.
Peers.
I saw someone from her team. They saw me crying because I missed the show, and they gave me a guitar pick.
You're on a list.
Like,
Oh,
just say we're best
don't
friends.
know what list, but wow.
Best friend list.
Best man.
Yeah. Oh my God, Snapchat close friends list.
Oh yeah.
100%. Adele.
I love Adele.
Okay.
Very talented.
Right. Because again,
Amazing.
around the time that I was your age, you would go to like nights out at like parties and DJs would remix Adele songs. And like she was on all the big talk shows. Like she was the celeb that everyone was talking about. And I feel like you've kind of, now she's in the era of, I'm going to do loads of shows and make loads of money and release music and then I'm going to literally disappear forever. So I didn't know how, you
She's
know.
hilarious. I have so much respect for Adele. She's amazing.
Correct
She has
answer.
such
Yeah.
an amazing voice. Oh my
Oh,
God,
she
she is
does.
so talented.
Oh my God, so talented. My sister once saw Adele at a festival on like a tiny little stage, like literally maybe minutes after her first album had been released. And you could send a tweet live of a photo of yourself at the thing and it would be put up on screen. So she somewhere has a BlackBerry, if we remember BlackBerries, image of her and her friend on a screen next to Adele playing on this tiny little stage. And she uploaded it where? To Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Great times.
What an album that was.
Oh my gosh. Gracie Abrams.
I just went to her concert. I
Did
love
you?
Gracie Abrams so much.
Brilliant. Okay.
I love her.
Yeah, she's very new, like in the world, but I feel like she's going to be sticking around for a while.
She's amazing. She's so talented. And the one criticism she gets is that she's a nepo baby.
She is.
And yes,
Who
but
cares?
that's all people say. They can't say she has a bad singing voice.
She's
They
an
can't say
incredible songwriter,
Yes.
incredible singer.
They cannot say she's not talented. They all only say she's a nepo baby. And I'm like, if someone's successful and a nepo baby, why does it matter?
Absolutely.
Well, because they had a leg up, honey, where others didn't get introduced to the right people or
I
have a head
understand.
start and had to struggle a little bit more. So there is
But-
inequity there. But that's just come from me being very left wing. How does she respond? Does she say, yes, I did have these privileges and then I worked hard? Or is she like, no, I'm not?
I don't think she's said anything about it. I think she's
Well,
just
and
kept
I think
quiet.
she should, and I just think she should acknowledge her privilege. Doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, fair.
It doesn't mean
She
that you
might
didn't-
have. I don't know. I'm not saying she absolutely has not. She might have acknowledged it. I do not know.
Fine.
Yeah. We love. Long story short, we love.
Yeah,
Love
I love
Gracie
to.
Abrams.
Abrams.
Beyonce.
Oh, I love Beyonce.
Okay. Okay.
There was a lot of controversy with Beyonce, but I do
Yes.
really, really love Beyonce. Saw her live. Amazing.
Are you just saying that because you're worried that you'll get killed?
Beyonce? I love Beyonce. Thank you. I want to thank Beyonce in this podcast. No, I genuinely do love her. She has an amazing voice. She's incredible, a very talented performer.
Do you know that Beyonce was born on Joan Rivers' birthday? And then Joan Rivers did a joke at the expense of Beyonce and died on Beyonce's birthday.
Oh my God. Wow. That's crazy.
I know.
You better watch what you say right now, Violet.
The
okay?
Illuminati is real.
She does. She comments sometimes. She's a big fan. So
The Beehive.
Yeah.
the Beehive are on it.
Who do you think's stronger, the Swifties or the Beehive?
Swifties.
Oh.
Swifties.
I mean,
Swifties.
there's more Swifties, definitely.
Yeah.
The Beehive, I think, are more aggressive.
I didn't
Actually,
even
that's a
know
lie.
Beehive
Swifties
was
are
a
very
name.
aggressive. Oh wow! Keep that to yourself, Violet. We're trying to. She's gonna.
I mean, so much love to
Oh my
them.
God.
Just, I love.
Yeah. Wait, there's a red dot on your forehead. Are you okay? Oh my God.
No, guys, I'm fine. I love anyone if they are obviously not problematic, and they do not hate on Taylor Swift.
100%.
Girls hating on Taylor Swift is like so attention seeking.
Oh my god.
I really
Pick
hate
me
it.
behavior.
It's
Pick
giving
me
pick me.
behavior. it
Girls
is.
in my school be like, oh my god, Viola, I don't know how you could like Taylor Swift. Like, she's weird. Is that who are you trying to impress right now?
Oh my god. So
are you
confession.
trying to impress the 2 Kanye West lovers in the back?
100%.
Get
2
out.
Nazis in our history class.
Okay,
Yes.
so maybe.
No, when I met Andrew, he was a Taylor Swift hater.
Prince Andrew.
No.
Oh, your boyfriend,
No,
yeah.
he loves her. He's famously. So I went to the concert with him, actually. He was great, yeah.
You should have back.
Yeah. No, my boyfriend Andrew, when I met
Why?
him, he was literally misogynistic, like thoughts like he is not misogynistic himself, but it was purely based on, oh, well, I've just heard that she's really annoying and she's really, so I made it, I like quite dramatic, but for me, that was a deal breaker. So this is literally like the first couple of times that we've met each other. I made him come to my flat and watch the Taylor Swift documentary that's on Netflix of her, it's called Miss Americana. And from that moment on, he's maybe a bigger stan than I am now. Like, he knows every single song. And that's when I knew that we were going to be together for the next 4 years of our life.
good.
That makes it sound like I'm going to break up with him. Maybe I will. Who knows by the time this comes out. Life's short.
Miss
Do you know
Americana
who's-
changed my life.
Do you know
Yeah.
who's in Miss Americana?
Who?
We all know Nikki Glaser now.
Yes,
and
yeah.
we love Nikki Glaser, infamous Swiftie. She's in a montage in Miss Americana slagging Taylor Swift off.
No.
And when that happened, she was already a Swiftie, and it was footage from years ago. Because comedians, we're a bit mean.
You've been
Yeah.
mean about Taylor Swift before, and she's seen you being mean to her, and
Yeah.
she's commented on it.
She was fine with it, but
Wait, I need to know that story.
I forget the bit.
It was in her Netflix special, and she was saying something about how like Taylor Swift, whatever the people who.
I'm
like,
sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit more manicured than that. The bit I spent a long time writing it, but I love that. That's how
it sounds to me. And then
I won't drag it up because it wasn't nice, but
Yeah,
can you
whatever.
imagine being Nikki Glaser? We know how much Nikki loves Taylor.
Wild.
To be in a montage about how Taylor Swift was bullied by the
Oh my
media.
god. And what we do as a society, especially people whose job is to comment on society in a funny way,
Yeah.
sometimes they will bring up certain things like about a celebrity or something like that and not realize later on how much that could like affect them, if you get what I mean. So Christ alive, yeah, God bless her. We love Taylor Swift though.
We love Taylor
love
Swift.
Taylor Swift so much. Oh my gosh. Next. Oh, I love that. That was the one about Beyonce, by the way, and we spoke about Taylor Swift nonstop. Still love Beyonce.
love you,
Beehive.
Beyonce.
Oh my gosh. Christina Aguilera.
Oh.
Who?
Oh no. What a
See?
girl wants, what a girl needs.
See, this is the reaction that I thought that I would get from you.
needs.
And that, again, like, I don't know about you, Catherine, but for me, Christina Aguilera was like pop. Like, she was one of the main pop girlies for
I'm
years.
disgusted.
If I saw a picture of her or if I heard one of her hit songs, I probably would recognize her. But I do not know her now, and I'm very sorry.
If
I
you
bet
s-
you are amazing. I bet.
If you
She
saw a picture of her
watches- she
from
watches,
3
so-
years
Yeah.
ago, you would not recognize her. But now that she's on
Yeah.
Ozempic,
Oh, yeah,
you
now
would
she looks like she did when she was 18, somehow. Like, that's...
so.
Oh, you know, dirty, da-na-na-na-na-na, body, sweat dripping over my body. She's in a
Wanna
like
get
boxing ring.
dirty.
What about come on over, baby?
I'm a genie in a bottle.
Bottle.
You gotta love me the
The
right
right-
way.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right.
Right,
It's
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she probably had a song. That's probably done well on TikTok or something. Yeah.
She was released at a time when Britney Spears was very famous as a Britney Spears op, and then they pitted them against each other,
Oh.
and it made both of them.
Yeah, and then they made out on stage, and it was iconic. With
No.
Madonna. Yeah, they
Madonna.
did.
Well,
Oh wait, no,
no.
they both
Madonna
separately made
kissed
out with Madonna.
Christina, they pretty much cut that. They weren't even on that kiss. And then Madonna turned and kissed Britney, and that became the famous kiss. It's a point of contention.
And then did you see when Madonna kissed Drake, and Drake like threw up in his mouth? She kissed him on stage recently, like I'd say like 2 years ago. Kissed him on stage as he was sat down, and he gets up and he's like, "Oh my god!"
He's never encountered a woman even a third of that age. He's like, what was that?
Hey Drake.
Oh wait. Interesting one. Madonna.
I do not know too much about her.
Right. Okay.
I've heard her song. She's an amazing singer.
Yes. Well,
don't-
she's yeah. Amazing artist.
All right,
She's
yeah.
an
Yeah.
artist. I don't think she has much of an online presence in my I don't see much of her online presence.
Yeah. Don't look for it. It's terrifying.
Really.
It's
Gone.
So,
it's gone a certain direction that maybe yeah.
fair enough.
Right, interesting. Right, I'll blast through these last ones just because I'm personally intrigued. Girls Aloud. Do you know who they are?
No.
Oh my God, okay. Do you know who Cheryl Cole is?
Yes.
Okay, she was in Girls Aloud, and they were a
Yes.
really big band, and they have some really iconic songs that everyone in the UK knows, but maybe you've heard them, maybe you've not, but that just personally upsets me a little bit, but I'm going to
Very
put it to one
upsetting.
side, because otherwise I feel old. Billie Eilish.
I love Billie Eilish. She's
Yes!
so sweet. Seems like
Oh my
such
God,
a sweet,
brilliant.
genuine person. Love her so much. Love all her songs.
Yes. Okay, so she's very much in.
Oh yes.
Love. Okay. Robbie Williams.
Wow.
I know.
I feel like we're gonna not like me if I say who.
Yeah.
Okay, the man, he recently did a film where he was a monkey. You might have seen that on TikTok. No, okay,
Wouldn't
we'll
be
just
on
skip
Violet's
right
radar,
No, we'll
no.
skip right past that. Last one for, well-known artists around the world, Jojo Siwa.
Oh. Okay. I like Jojo Siwa. I think she has she's very driven and she knows what she wants to do. And I feel like people do make fun of her, but they are falling right into her trap. Karma was a joke song. And yes, me and my friend did do come makeup and jump around on my trampoline and make TikToks about it. But that was the
course.
fun of it.
What
Like dream guest on
self-respecting
my
human being
podcast.
didn't?
That's so
Like,
funny.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
I mean, I literally did the exact same thing, so we're
Yeah.
one of the same.
And she's
Violet.
happy now. She has she's dating a new guy.
Yeah,
I
a new
believe.
girl.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
that that's going to
She's
end
British?
terribly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Oh,
that'll
who
end
is it?
terribly and we'll have another awful song
I
about
don't know her
it.
name. I feel really bad.
I don't know her name either, but
She's really pretty. She's blonde. I don't know her name.
No, it's fine. Can't wait for the breakup song.
You don't know this British girl?
I do not.
I do
I'm-
not believe she was the most well-known person before dating.
I think
Jojo
that
Siwa.
ramped up again when I was literally in the jungle. So
Okay.
that's my excuse for a lot of things right
Jungle
now.
pass.
But yeah, jungle pass. Right. Quick run through of just some more general things now. Crocs.
Love.
Thank God.
Wait, I don't think
God.
they'll catch me doing it.
Thank God. Thank
I have a
God.
croc on if anyone can see.
So I obviously love
Fantastic.
Crocs, and you showed up in Crocs today, so I put my office Crocs on. I have some just for emergency use. And I'm so glad that they are still around and that people are loving them.
I love Crocs. I wear Crocs to school
Oh
in
my
my free
God.
periods.
Oh, I love that. I remember when they were the ugliest thing in the entire world and only dads wore them. And now they are just as ugly, but everyone thinks that they're quirky and cool.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Watching TV. So similar to what me and your mum were talking about, is there like any actual BBC, ITV, Channel 4 shows that you were like, I want to sit down and watch, or is it all catch up? Is it all streaming? Is it all social media?
I'm gonna sound like a fan again. I watched you on I'm a Celeb Australia.
Did you?
Yeah, that's when I would watch it on my TV.
Oh
I'd
my
tune in.
God. Oh, thank you.
I got really
and I'm
into
so
Love
sorry that you
Island.
had to watch that. That was
It was amazing. I was
was
laughing
great.
every episode when you jump out the helicopter. Oh my god, I was dying. Anyway, I'm a Celeb UK. I watched Chica Barry on that.
yeah,
We watch Traitors on TV.
Traitors.
Best show in the entire world. Oh my
There's
gosh.
some event television remaining.
Oh my god.
I will
yeah.
continue to fan Claudia every time I see her.
Oh,
I'll see her
yes.
at parties. I'll be like, Claudia,
Oh my
hi.
god, she is an icon.
I love her.
She really is.
Love Island I got quite into.
Okay, so this theory that like young people don't care about TV is not necessarily true. Maybe they're just watching it in different ways. Maybe there's a lot of catch up.
There's multi-platform engagement.
However, with Netflix, I am quite I watch the same thing. I never search for new shows. It's always The Office,
Oh
The
my God.
Lorax.
The
Pitch
Lorax. Oh my god, I have a need for Thneed. I love the Lorax. I also love The
Lorax.
Office. I've rewatched it multiple times. I think it might be one of my favorite shows. ever.
Violet was
Office is my favorite.
sexy Lorax for Halloween.
Oh, that's incredible.
I
That
wore
is
a
incredible.
Orange crop top, orange
That's
skirt,
absolutely
and
beautiful.
Mustache. But
What is
love
it with
you.
teenage girls? Sexy, whatever. Lorax. yes.
everybody
Sexy
needs a
croc.
need. A finding that all people need. Sorry.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And Pitch Perfect, and then Annie.
Pitch Perfect.
One,
Oh
two,
my
three.
god. Oh, me and George love Pitch Perfect. When we went on tour, before shows, we would just either have a riff off with each other, or we would play. Which one was it? I think Oh, Mickey, you're so fun. Yeah, that riff off. We would
Yeah.
play that to hype us up for it. Oh, brilliant. Do you know what? You are a very cultured woman, Violet. Don't
you
put
very
yourself
much.
down. Skinny jeans.
Oh. My teachers wear those a lot. I'm not a big fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
okay.
skinny joggers. I just don't see it. I don't see
Right.
the vision. But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you feel comfortable in skinny jeans and you think it goes well with your outfit, wear your skinny jeans. I
Media
have no
trained
problem
queen.
with that.
Media trained queen. We love it. Simon Cowell. So this came across because when I think about celebrities, when I was like younger, to me, Simon Cowell was the most famous person in the entire world. And now I look around and I'm like, but what is Simon Cowell? Like, who's seeing Simon Cowell on TV anymore? Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's my boss, and he has sort of ascended where he's producing and execing a lot of TV, like Canada's Got Talent.
Oh, of course,
which we love.
We love Canada's
He's
Got
a
Talent.
wonderful man and a wonderful father.
So,
looks great.
Shooting Canada's Got Talent. Do you have much FaceTime with Simon Cowell? How involved is he in something like that?
I had to get right on his face for the audition. No, I've not met Simon Cowell.
Cool.
But I'm sure he would have to green light a clip.
Of course, yeah.
I was more at the like bequest of Howie Mandel. He was like our Simon Cowell on the ground.
What's he like?
Amazing.
I've heard I've heard really good things about him.
He thinks a mile a minute. He's really funny. He's not Simon Cowell. I kind of went over there to be Simon Cowell. I'm like the mercenary who went to Canada to be mean because they've never experienced mean.
Love that. You've got
Yes, I don't see much of him, but he seems very nice.
Okay, so we know like who he is, and he's still very much a presence.
He's very much a presence. If someone said, "Do you know who Simon Cowell is?" they'll go, "Yes."
Yes, perfect. That's all we need to know.
Sorry to jump in with the bag.
Skincare.
I like skincare.
Honestly,
I love it.
when I watch people of your demographic doing skincare hauls and the amount of products that you put on your beautiful untouched faces, it just shocks me because you're all gonna look like stunning for the rest of your life. Like, where has this interest come in with skincare?
Well, I think because they're all like bright colours, they all look very appealing, especially to younger kids. But I don't love that they're putting like very harsh things on their face. I was doing that for a while. I would put like retinol on my face. It would sting my face. Horrid. I did it for like about a week, and then I realised this is bad. I put moisturiser and like, what are they called? Serum on my face. That's it.
Wow.
Violet disrupted her skin barrier, and we had a rash on the face for a while that was like really
Like
bad.
it was bad. It looked like
Because retinol's like
all over my
hardcore. I used to work, so the place that I used to work at L'Oreal, and we like that was when like retinol. I was there when retinol was like becoming a thing, and it's very much marketed towards like 30 plus.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very harsh on the skin.
Yes.
Wow. So you're telling me that like an era of like 14-year-olds were putting retinol on their face?
No, 9 or 7.
Yeah, if you chat to the associates at Space NK, they will tell you they despise what TikTok has done.
Wow.
Because they're like, we got children in here looking for drunk elephant retinol, and we have to tell them they can't have it, and they cry. And they're like, I want it because TikTok said, and then their moms get it for them, and we feel this duty of care to be like, stop. But I mean, we can only take our hats off to the marketing program
Absolutely.
that has really positioned this skincare.
Oh my God. And all of these like beautiful children that are walking around like absolutely
I know.
snatched. Good
Like,
for them.
I know.
I mean, they're getting ahead of the curve. We love to see it.
Cause me breakouts.
Last one, underage drinking. Is that a thing? Do people still do that?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Because the way that I see it, obviously I'm observing my younger sister. How old would you, what year in school were you when COVID started?
Year 6.
Year 6. Okay, so you missed
I
a
missed
real
my
good
levers.
chunk of like, I mean, people are not really drinking in year 6, thank God. But you missed like a lot of those years where you start to go out with your friends and do stuff, and a lot of it became spending time with each other on the internet. And because of that, there has been a rapid decrease in underage drinking, which is something and a cause that I'm very passionate about. So kids are not going into fields and drinking with their friends nowadays because they're just, group Skyping. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Skyping is
Oh
crazy.
my god, please don't hate me, Violet. I can't believe I just said Skype. Oh my god. They're group calling on like Snapchat. I don't even know, I'm fumbling the bag now.
Yeah.
Do you even group call on
You got
Snapchat?
it right. Yes,
Oh
you
my
got it
god,
right.
okay.
We
They're
call
surfing the web on the www dot. Oh my
AOL.
god, okay. So yeah, it's changed a lot.
It
So I
has
just wanted to
changed.
gauge that. Okay. I'm glad to see that, my legacy lives on.
Yes.
Well done. I have one more question before we wrap up. The viral UK influencer party. What's happening? Who's invited? Who's not invited? When is it? Is it a real party? Is this an online party? Like, I need to know every single detail.
Okay, so yes, it is a real party. It's
Okay,
hosted
okay.
by my very, very good friend Liberty. I
Right.
love Liberty so much.
Brilliant.
She is so genuine, such a nice, kind, sweet person. And she's done this lovely thing for everyone. She's hosted this amazing party. Anyone's invited, really.
Oh, wow.
But there was a bit of controversy over it, as Liberty said she didn't have a better term. She used the word, you can make audition videos if you do not have like the influencer amount of followers and you still would like to come.
Right.
People took that as her being cocky, which absolutely is not. People were commenting on her TikToks, I would love to come, but I do not have as many followers. She was giving them an opportunity to do that. She just wanted to know like a little bit about them, like all of that. And then people were like, why do you have to audition to come to a party?
Okay.
And like,
okay. So if she would have just used a word like
application,
I mean, people probably would have found an issue with that. Stuff like this, the barrier between like influencer and non-influencer and the negative connotations that are attached to the word influencer is something that I very much dealt with. So I get where you're coming from. Maybe, a better way to say it would have just been like, also, for those of you who don't have a platform, but if you still want to come, send a video to this thing and we'll pick some people or something.
But like, even
register,
people
you're
with
in
that.
Yeah.
Even people like clip that and be like, she's being...
Yeah,
guess
sometimes
what?
you can't do wrong for doing right.
Not everyone's an influencer.
There we go.
And that's the nuts and bolts of it, kids. You don't have a platform. You don't have a following. Something to work toward. Get one. You can come to the party. Am I invited to the party? No. See me crying about it? Hardly.
So the party is a real party that is happening.
It's a real party.
So, I mean, you used in terms like everyone's invited. How many people are going to be at this party? And when is it? You don't have to give me, obviously, the location,
It's
time,
end
everything.
of April.
End of April. So when does this come out? End of March-ish. Oh my God. So yes, so we can still, oh my God, I'm so excited to just talk about it. So theorize about it.
The trouble is, if you give the address too soon...
Of course.
Then it goes everywhere on Snapchat.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't even have the address. Liberty's being very smart, very
I wouldn't. If I was you, if I was her, I would not. There's actually things that you can do so that people sign up and then they get sent the address like on the day.
Yeah.
So you can give like a roundabout location and then you get it sent to you around that time. I would look into stuff like that because from what I've seen of it, obviously I'm a 26-year-old man who has seen endless TikToks about this. What even is the party? Who is even going to the party? Oh, this is the party. No, I'm hosting it, and no, I'm hosting it. So I am so enthralled by this, and I love that we're getting this insider knowledge right now. So it is happening.
It is happening. We do have a group chat.
How many people are in this group chat roughly?
You don't get the number on Snapchat, but we think there's a lot of people not in the group chat. There's some people in the group chat.
Right.
However, we think Liberty said 300 to 400.
Wow.
Mostly pedos, yeah.
Where's my invite? No. Oh my God.
She
Absolutely
messaged
not.
me before this and said, tell Max I said hi, I love him, and he's invited.
Oh my God. Useless Hotline. Should I go to the influencer party? Comment down below.
Go!
I mean, am I cool? And what if I walk in and like what if I walk in skinny jeans?
What if you walk in and everyone screams because they are so excited to see you?
Elevated by the Crocs.
Oh my, yeah, true.
No one will notice the skinny jeans with those blue Crocs.
No mention of Christina Aguilera.
I am wearing
I'll leave
the
my wig at
Crocs.
home.
That's your entrance music.
Yes. Shit. Oh my God.
Genie in a bottle.
Absolutely. So she is how old, Liberty, your friend?
Liberty's 17.
17, and she is
No,
organising
she's 16, almost 17. I'm so sorry, Liberty.
So how is she organising such a huge
Well,
event?
she does have... She's organising it very well.
She's going to need sponsorship, security.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
I wasn't finished. She has a magazine. She has her own magazine company that is sponsoring it. She's not telling us yet, but she has very, very big brands sponsoring it. She's hired security. She's booked the venue. She's done everything.
Yeah, security is a must.
Yeah.
100%. Like, I mean, we did literally a tour of a podcast where people buy tickets to come in, and there are still situations that you can get in. So something as controversial, if you even want to use that word, as this party is, people will show up to try and ruin everyone's fun. So be wary of that.
There's probably going to be bag checks. Liberty is so
love
prepared.
this.
She is on this.
Yeah, probably. Listen, I am glad that this party is being taken seriously, because a lot of the times these things can just run away with themselves and it can be very overwhelming. So if you are part of the, I'm going to say, committee of people that are helping to organize it, I can tell that you understand that pressure. Yeah.
Public liability insurance.
There we go. Let's lawyer up, baby, and we'll see you at the influencer party.
See you at the influencer party.
Well, I mean, girls, This has been one of my favorite episodes ever. I feel like we've spoken about literally every single part of society possible.
We've had fun.
And I think that you are both icons within your own right entirely. And it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so sorry again that George could not be here. He sends his love. He's very regretful about that. But to be honest, who needs him?
It's better without him, I feel.
Absolutely. Like, the stench isn't there. Nobody needs that toxic masculinity around a lovely feminine desk such as these.
This was great. I feel like if I had a baby at Violet's age, I could be your mother.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'd be the perfect family.
Oh, 100%.
I'd be so
100%.
supportive of everything that you guys do.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, I love that. I want to lastly ask, I mean, you've got Canada's Got Talent coming up. When's that out?
It's begins March 13th. March 18th.
March 18th. Okay, so by the time that this is out, it should already be out, so check that out. Season 2 of your reality TV show, that's already out.
That's streaming on You.
On You.
Which is a free platform like UK TV, but it's now called You.
And is there talks of a season 3 happening? What can we expect?
We haven't discussed it yet.
We haven't decided.
Okay, would you want to do that? Okay.
It's a real, every time we go into it, we're like, oh gosh. But yeah, I mean, we really do like it.
It was an amazing show. I love filming it. I'm so
everyone's
grateful
so
that we got
nice.
to film it.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool that you are 15 years old and you have such incredible opportunities, and I can tell that you understand that and you do not take it for granted. You've done an incredible job raising it, as I'm sure that you know. And Violet, is there anything that you want to plug? We've got your TikTok username there. The UK influencer party, you're not invited, so bye. What else?
Are you selling anything on Vinted at the moment?
I'm not selling anything on Vinted. You guys don't have to follow me on TikTok. You really don't have to.
No, follow her. We're going to get her to 50k. Big up Violet's TikTok account. What about Instagram? Do we even care to promote that? Is that like loser behavior?
I don't want creeps.
Okay, that's for the friends.
But thanks, guys.
And if you would like to be Violet's boyfriend, you could submit an audition video.
Oh yes.
To my TikTok.
Or you guys can, make an edit of me. That'll be a boyfriend application.
Yeah. Make some fun edits. That would be brilliant.
Kidding,
if you would, we usually on this show do dilemmas that our audience send in, but we've been talking for literally like 2 hours now. So sorry guys, you're just gonna have to stay hopeless. Sorry about that. However, if for future episodes you would like to send in a dilemma, please do so via our email, theuselesshotlinepodcast@gmail.com. Reminder that you can also send voice notes, as we love to hear our phones ring at the Useless Hotline. Katherine and Violet, it has been an absolute pleasure. If people enjoyed, please give us a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, all of the above. Check out everything fun that they've got going on, and I won't see you at the UK influencer party.
Yes, you will be seeing them at the influencer.
Oh, sorry, I meant because they're not invited.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
sorry about that. Right, lots of love. Thank you so
you,
much for
Matt.
coming on.
Much.
Bye.
Bye.